Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at the last Johto starter, Totodile, Croconaw, and Feraligatr. And I swear to God, when I was younger, there used to be something right here in between the T and the R, but apparently that doesn't exist. So I guess I was hallucinating or something, but it feels really weird to not see anything between those. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll take care of two of these at once. Reptide, Riptide's a very common water type nickname, so we're gonna go ahead and knock that one out of the way. But they modified it a little bit to be more reptilian, so you did something a little bit different, I guess. And then King K. Rool, that's one I see a fair bit with Totodile, Croconaw, Feraligatr. It's fine, I have no problems with it, I completely get it. Captain Crunch, I actually really like this one as a nickname too. I think it works not just for Feraligatr, but just about anyone who has a strong jaw or is very bitey, for lack of a better term. So I think that's a great nickname, and yeah, it fits him well. Gatorade, there's another one. I've seen this before for Feraligatr. Totally fine. I get it. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's a good choice as well. And I'm actually surprised that the first three suggestions we came across were all original and exclusive to Feraligatr. That's different. And it just keeps up. Okay, Godzilla, I don't have really an opinion on that one. I get it. I understand it. It's just not one I would personally use, but I totally understand where you're coming from. And then Lockjaws, alright, let's not do that. I personally go with Lockjaw. Fuck off. Just highlight everything but the stupid idiot S. Lockjaw, just like that. Because that's a real word, and that makes sense, and it's a very good nickname. Same to Captain Crunch, where you can apply it to any sort of bitey-based Pokemon. The reason I favor this one a little bit more towards Feraligatr is because of Donkey Kong Country 2, Lockjaw's Locker, where there's a little piranha, I guess it is a piranha, fish named Lockjaw, so I have that kind of water bias towards it, but in general, you could put it on any sort of bitey Pokemon. Tsunami, generic water type nickname, we've seen it a bunch of times, not too much to say about it. I'll acknowledge Brosidon for at least being a little bit different. Do I think it's good? Not even a little bit, but like, I could totally see someone laughing at that at very least. Killer Croc is good. I don't think I've seen that one before, so I'm going to go ahead, and it's on there twice. So I'm going to go ahead and write that one down for the end of the episode. It's already on my list, apparently. I have seen it before. I'm a filthy liar. Jawbreaker, we use this one for Golem because of its shape, and I do still think that fits. But I guess if you'd rather go on the bitey thing, which we're heavily emphasizing here, I get it. But I like it better on Golem, basically. Claptrap I'm totally okay with, again, Donkey Kong Country, and I think it actually works pretty well considering Feraligatr's blue, so it actually makes more sense than the one I personally use. I use Claptrap for Mawile, but I guess it actually makes it a little, I don't know if I'd say it makes more or less sense. Whatever. The point is, it's a good nickname. I'll go ahead and acknowledge Macau. I think, that in general is probably not super common enough to be confused with anyone else, so I think you can get away with it. And because I mentioned Sidon for Vaporeon, so I guess it's only fair to mention other Zoras, because I remember being confused. I was like, why doesn't anyone ever do any other Zoras? And because Zoras are just, I mean, I'm gonna say you could probably apply it to any water type period, but if you can find someone that's like more fish shaped, I think it'll work better, but in general, I'm totally fine with Macau. Now, I've seen a couple jokes for, like, Steve Irwin, and I've ignored most of them because it was just Irwin or Steve, so it, like, held no meaning, because by itself, you'd have to piece together Steve Crocodile. But if you just named it Dundee, or better yet, maybe used your brain and just named it Steve Irwin instead of just one of the two, it works better. So don't pick half the damn name, go all in, or don't go at all. Do I think it's a good nickname? No, but I do think it's one that, you know, people are going to be spitting out a bunch. So I wasn't sure at first, but I thought about it, because I was like, does he mean Crusher from Donkey Kong Country? Yes, he means Crusher from Donkey Kong Country. So, I get it, and it makes sense, but I think just Crusher in general is a god-awful name that's too boring and, like, the kind of thing that 5-year-olds are gonna think up instead of something interesting and different. That's not a fault on the nickname, that's a fault on whoever named it Crusher, but, like, I get it as well. I was thinking also about Clubba, and I was like, is that maybe where I'm getting confused? I get it, it works, Donkey Kong Country. I just think I think if they named the enemy something better, it would be a better nickname. That's all. See, the problem is every time I see Irwin, I just think of the stupid kid from Billy and Mandy. So I don't think of Steve Irwin. Just name it Steve Irwin! It's 10 characters, it's not hard! You have 12 now! There's no excuse for this kind of laziness. Here's some fancy Transformers trivia for you if you didn't know that. I didn't. I wonder how many people are going to get it. Actually, that's curious. Do the Power Rangers Zords have names? I don't think they have names outside of just what they're based off of. That could be a fun idea if someone made a Power Rangers team. I'm also going to acknowledge Jaws because I've seen it a few times. It's not... It's just the name Jaws is boring, that's all. Like, you're just gonna think of the shark with the name, and that's it. And that's all there is to it. It's just I get it, it's fine if you don't care, I just don't. I'm not interested in it. How much does a Hitman cost? Because I might need a hit. So, Gator Boy is offensively stupid because you have the very baby brain obvious choice of going with Gatorade. But instead, after being dropped on his head too many times, like he's probably got the world record for it, he goes with Gator Boy. Killer Croc, we've seen, totally fine. I've seen this says Termigator. I don't know if the rest said Termigator or if it was like, I don't know. Like it's a pun on Terminator, I guess. That's okay. I don't really care. It's not really bad. It's just... I don't know, it's just... And then Ripjaws just sounds dumb. I'm pretty sure he's used Ripjaws on other things, and they weren't interesting then, and they're not interesting now. But if anything makes me want to learn how to tie a noose, it's the word Gator Boy. Can we, like, point out... I have to make fun of this guy for a second. I'm sorry, it's... What gender is the Nidoqueen? Okay, so we've reached the bottom. We've seen some offensively stupid people who need to be locked up, and then the rest has been really, really good nicknames that are exclusive to Feraligatr, if not just bitey Pokemon in general. Much less generic-based nicknames. I think like Riptide was the only one, and that was about it. So we're going to finish up by checking the spreadsheet. Nothing interesting here. It is known for its mouth jaw. Strong Jaw is an ability. It's not a good nickname. But it does make me curious why it doesn't have... Maybe it's because it doesn't learn. No, it learns Crunch. I don't know. Why did they go Sheer Force instead of Strong Jaw? That's basically the question. It would have made sense. Reviewing over the ones... Like, I'm going to break it into categories here. So, for bitey-based nicknames, the one I personally use, again, is Lockjaw. I like that one a lot. Jawbreaker and Captain Crunch. Those are like the bitey names. Gatorade's kind of a weird in-between. So Gatorade's by itself as a good nickname idea. And then the rest is just pick which reference you like. Which would be like Killer Croc, Claptrap, King K. Rool, or if you don't want to necessarily go with King K. Rool and maybe be a little bit less on the nose, Kremling. You could do Kremling. It's kind of the same thing as naming, like, instead of Batman, you choose Gotham. It's less obnoxious and in your face while still being a reference and a nod. Other words, that's it. There was a lot of good suggestions, and then just two that, well, not really. It was just one that made me really mad, and then the Nidoqueen comment was just like, wow, I think I found the name reader again. But that's it. So any other extra ideas and suggestions, provide them in the comments below. If you know what gender a Nidoqueen is, let me know, because I'm so confused.